Things will go wrong, and I will tell you about them. So this is not just going to be the highlight reel. This is going to be honest and probably a bit silly at sometimes. I'm starting a fitness channel for people who, like myself, need to learn that having below average expectations of yourself in some areas of your life is okay. You don't necessarily have to be great at something for doing it to still be worthwhile, especially when it comes to health and fitness, I believe. I'm going to be talking about my experiences trying to get fit with IBS and injury-prone joints and tendons, wanting to run and cycle long distance and do things in life despite several limitations that have made it hard in the past. So I'm getting back into running after a couple of years of not having run regularly at all, because last time I trained for something seriously, I hurt my leg. That was due to doing too much too fast, but also I've got a history of knee issues and things, so not a great combination. And then I started lifting weights to compensate for that, and because that's what helps. And then I hurt my shoulder doing that because of other bodily issues. So every time I seem to look at serious exercise, I fall apart. But I still want to do it. I want to get fit. I want to get strong. I really enjoy running. And then last year I also found out I have IBS, which explained a lot, but also made life lots more inconvenient. And I was at the physio, and she told me maybe I should have below average expectations of myself. I hurt myself, and in part it was due to doing too much too soon, even though I was following a beginner's plan. And the physio told me I should maybe have below average expectations of myself, because following just general average plans wasn't working. And I didn't like that, because I'm a bit of an overachiever. I all or nothing kind of person, which I'm working on, but perfectionism isn't great. But that sat with me for a while, and of course she's right. But that doesn't mean you don't have to do your best. That doesn't mean you necessarily have to let go of your goals. You can still aim for the same thing, but make the journey getting there more realistic. So take longer, for example, be way more careful. It's easy to be discouraged and then let go of your goals, to stop doing what you were doing. But what I have to learn, and I bet, fireworks. What I have to learn, and I bet I'm not the only one, is that just showing up is enough. Even small steps towards something is progress. If you don't do anything at all, you're not going to get anywhere. So you have to set realistic goals and realistic time frames, and those might be below average versus someone else, but the only important person in this is you. So last year I found out I have IBS, which has explained a lot, but it also made my life complicated in several ways. And obviously your nutrition and issues with nutrition don't help with fitness. So that's another hurdle I have. But my goals are still, I want to run a half marathon. I enjoy running. I like being out in nature, running long distances, and I think the half marathon, I'm not entirely sure why, but that's just a goal I'm set on. I like the idea of that distance. I think it's achievable. Not sure when I'll achieve it, but I think it's achievable. I want to go on long distance cycling holidays again, but not just fitness wise, I think I'm okay. Food wise, that's an issue. And I think that's all doable. I'll just have to take a lot more time to get there than others, probably. To get there, I'm purposely learning to run by following a beginner's plan. And I don't feel I'm a beginner anymore, but that's keeping me at slightly below my level to get back into it safely. Especially with the guided runs I'm doing, I'm really enjoying the motivational aspect of it as well, and learning how you're supposed to feel while running and not push yourself too far too fast, because that's dangerous for me. And I'm learning to eat, which sounds strange, but due to the IBS, and I did a FODMAP elimination diet for way too long. I do not recommend. But that means I've become quite sensitive to food. So I'm currently, with a dietitian, working on eating 30 different types of plants a week, just to rehabilitate my stomach a bit. So that's a challenge I'm doing for myself right now. And I'm also learning to manage my own expectations. As I said, bit of an overachiever. So having to step back and take it slow, there's a learning curve to that. And especially the part where even if it's not perfect and not as good as someone else, it's still worth doing. And I'm going to do that with these videos as well. So I'm filming this on my phone, which, great quality versus some cameras from so many years ago. But I'm going to go by the principle of finished is better than perfect, especially since now we're in Dutch winter, so a lot of my running and exercise and filming will be done in the dark, in bad lighting. So bear with me there. I'm going to document my progress for me in the future to not get discouraged, but also for everyone else who needs to hear and see this, or have the reminder that showing up for yourself, no matter what that looks like, and doing your best, no matter what that looks like in comparison to others, is perfectly fine. Expect running updates, food experiments, vlogs, and practical tips in the future. Things will go wrong, and I will tell you about them. So this is not just going to be the highlight reel. This is going to be honest and probably a bit silly at sometimes, but Before I forget, my name is Sam. I hope all that sounded good to you, and hopefully see you next time.